Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Pouring, a space where living waters flow free. As you can see, we are doing it a little guerrilla style. Today, we did a little bit of traveling and we're in the airport, and we're like, let's give the people, a little bit more of what we talked about last time, just go into depth a little bit more. So, my husband is going to ask me some more questions, and yeah, we'll have a good time. So,
Yeah.
Joseph.
Hey guys, welcome back. I guess I made it past, the first round. So you guys, I guess you like me a little bit. So I'm here. And today's topic I really want to talk about is the importance of healing, having healing before a marriage. And
Yeah.
if you guys hear the sound in the background, we're still in the airport. We're in
Yes.
San Diego and
Yeah.
we're heading home. So how important it is to have a level of healing before you enter a marriage. It's very
It's really
important.
good. Yeah.
And I think a lot of us miss that. We be
Hmm.
like, well, if I get married, everything will be perfect. Everything will just flow how it needs to flow.
Yeah. That's true.
It's marriage is gonna fix all the dark things. It's gonna be so great,
Yeah.
you know? And come to find out, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a level of healing,
Hmm.
especially if your spouse didn't get a level of healing,
Yeah.
you both are going through a journey of trying to figure it out, trying to overcome obstacles,
Hmm.
and you don't know why. And
Yeah.
when you had your single life, you didn't take time to get healing.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about some of the things that you see
Hmm.
that's important that you happy that you did
Yeah.
before you got married.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I do want to preface. So, the saying that people say that, oh, when you get money you change. No, money just um amplifies what's already there. I would say that marriage and relationships does the same thing, right?
Mhm.
So if you're going into a marriage, if you're going into a relationship thinking that that other person is going to fix you, then you have it completely wrong. Thinking that that other person is going to give you those missing parts and pieces, you have it completely wrong. The great Miles Monroe, this isn't the exact quote, but essentially he said that, you need to have, it needs to be 100%, well, close to 100% whole people coming together, right?
Mhm.
If you come into a relationship expecting that other person to complete you, that is a recipe for disaster, because in when it's ultimately,
Mhm.
God is the one who completes us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say the importance for healing is extremely necessary. I know for me, I was on my healing journey again, not knowing that my husband was coming so soon. I just got to a place where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of the same cycles and the same status quo. I knew that there was something better and deeper that God had in store for me, but I knew that it started with me, right? I could only
Yeah.
control the controllable, which is me. And I know that if I wanted a specific person who was going to compliment me, right? We complement
Mhm.
each other, right? To do this life with, I needed to make sure that I was what I needed to be, right? Because you are who you attract. God gave me this quote, and I wrote it in my journal maybe a couple of years ago. Actually, before I met him, I wrote, be the love you want to see, right?
Mhm.
So that was really my journey. But the necessity of healing, like I even know of friends from college, right, who got married maybe not too long after they graduated, and they're divorced now, right? And again, we don't know until we know something, right? If it's not, we don't learn if we're not told. So that's why we're sharing just some kind of the nuggets, and the things that we have experienced and what we've realized and what has helped our marriage. Granted, we are still early on in the marriage,
Yeah.
but to if you want your marriage to flow, right? If you want to have disagreements, and not necessarily arguments, right? You want it to be sort of as smooth sailing as possible. Again, you have two people with two personalities, different way of life coming in together. So the more we have we've gotten rid of that baggage, so to speak. The more we've offloaded those things and allow God to live in us, the more when we come together as a unit. And yes, we're going to have disagreements, but when it comes to the flow and you realize like, hey, this is my partner, this is my team. We're on the same team.
Yeah.
We're not against it. We are literally on the same team. We are one, right? Yeah, it just when you've gone through an element of healing before, and again dying to yourself before you get married, it just
Yeah.
makes it all the more better, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because how do you know what you want if you're not that? How do you know what it looks
Sure.
like? You said it. You said it greatly.
Yeah.
You know, be the beauty that you want to see. If you never seen the beauty, how do you know what to truly look for?
That's true.
And how do you know how it would make you feel?
That's true.
You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
So you have to embody that thing that you actually want to receive,
Yeah.
so you can know that that's what it is. Because if you don't embody it, somebody can be a counterfeit
That's true.
and they come off acting like the beauty, and you just take on like, oh, okay, well, this is what I want. But then when you experience it, you're like, whoa, that's not what I want.
Exactly.
Because you wasn't being, you're just something that you wanted, a
Yeah.
look.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
so that was really good. I feel like all of us need to go through that.
Yeah, healing is
And
so important.
yeah,
It's so
I
important.
want to know, like, what are your thoughts on people that say, I bring in 50, they bring in 50, we make it whole. Like, what is your perspective on that? Because I know some
Yeah.
people, they will say, well, I'm giving my 50
Yeah.
and they are 50, and when we come together, it's whole.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
No, that's good. Are you talking about just bringing to a relationship? Are you talking monetarily? Or are you talking about all of it?
Well, you can talk like
Mm-hmm.
the relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, going back to what I said, 200% people coming together, that applies here as well. God has had me on a journey to really understand agape love, right? And I thought I knew agape love before marriage, but there are definitely areas I needed to learn. When we are seeking and striving to be like Jesus, Yeshua, when we really study him, the selflessness was on a whole nother level. When we think of him loving us before we loved him, that's a huge thing, and it's also opposite of what our human flesh wants and will do. So it really takes intentionality and healing and really understanding God's agape love first, understanding his love for you, and then you're able to then start embodying that again when you are, you know, like reducing yourself, right? Getting yourself out of the way, and him being your source and him filling you up. That is the only way we can operate in agape love. And for the longest, I thought I was like, oh, I know agape love, but then the more I searched my heart, I realized like, no, there was some expectation of reciprocity there,
Yeah.
and we're human. Somebody does something. You do something for somebody, you're expecting reciprocity.
Yeah.
However, that is conditional.
Yeah.
And agape love is unconditional. So it took me really understanding agape love. My spiritual mother, Apostle Cynthia Jefferson, told me, she basically gave me a book to read called The Way of Agape, and it's by Chuck and Nancy Missler. I would suggest you read that. And that book has revolutionized my whole perspective of agape love and the necessity for it and how to actually operate in it. And again, it all goes back to dying to self, submitting your will to God, and then him filling you up. And so when it comes to the 50-50 bet, it should get to a point where your whole, what can you do? And I want to do 100% because I love this person, right?
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to be the love you want to see. Let's say, hey, Cordia, I'm giving 100%, but it feels like my husband is giving 50 or 60. That's conditional, right? Because you're looking at what he's not bringing, again, we are human,
Yeah.
but it should get to a point where we are so submitted to God that you give 100, that person may not be giving that, but you are so rooted and grounded in God, him being your source, you're doing it for him ultimately, that eventually whatever is missing that needs to be there, God will supply that. He will, but that would not be like, that's not your responsibility, right? Because you can only control you. So, but that takes work, that takes intentionality, that takes dying to self, that takes really studying agape love and asking God constantly, mold, like prune my heart, anything that is selfish, get it out so that I could truly love selflessly. I could truly bring 100% and want to do it willingly and gladly, even if the other person may not be doing that, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, you don't look at that. You look at this person as being an image bearer of God, and you want to pour into them. You want to love them, and that's how you want to be loved, right? So,
And I think too
Yeah.
that actually goes into you being
yes,
being the love,
being the
right?
love, exactly.
Because you might be at a higher level of love and operating in a certain area than the spouse. And if the spouse doesn't do something that you desire for them to do, are you going to become less of your greatness? Like, are you going to come lower? Because that person may be maxed out in that arena, but you operate in this space effortlessly. So do you not do things with greatness? Do you go down an
No.
anchor, or do you steer the course, because you will begin to attract more of what you don't want in the
Facts.
spouse when you come outside of yourself, because you know it's not natural.
Yeah.
And when you actually like, well, they're not doing this, I'm gonna do this. It's actually from a lower vibration.
Yes,
It's
it
actually
is.
from a lower thought pattern.
Yeah,
It's not even
that's true.
from the highest thought pattern.
Yes,
Because Christ said the greatest among you will
the
be
servant.
your servant.
That's true. That's good.
And he's the greatest
Yes.
because he served all of us
Yes.
at a high level.
Yes.
So
good.
that makes a lot of sense that you gotta operate in your fullness.
Yes.
It don't matter what the environment is saying. No, you be that thing.
Yes.
So you can continue to attract what you need to attract.
That's good. No, that's really good.
Yeah.
You said be, and it reminds me of be the light. And to answer your question, no, you don't diminish, right? Because you are operating there. Again, that's conditional. You're saying that, oh, my light and my love is contingent on what they bring. No, your light and your love should be contingent on God and
Yeah.
Him living in you. And so, no, you don't diminish, right? And that's what God has called us to be, lights of the world, cities
Yeah.
on a hill, with the light shining. And so then those who are not of God will come to us because we shine. And so why not start with your spouse
Yeah.
and just being that love and being that light? And yeah, you will, whatever you need. Again, you have to remember God is your source.
Yeah.
And if there's anything lacking, whether it's the husband or the wife, what have you, you realize that my source and whatever I need is in God. And so whatever I need physically will come. It will, God, he wants us to be fully dependent on him.
Yeah.
So no, that's really good.
Yeah, that's when we embody the image of
Yes.
Christ, the image of true love and true wealth. That is
Yes.
wealth, and you're wearing it. So throughout life, you begin to attract that.
Yes.
Certain opportunities. I mean,
That's good.
your relationships, it actually helps you. Your marriage helps you to become the ultimate version of you, because you are becoming one.
Yes.
And if you're able to help those weaknesses in each other and allow yourself to grow, I mean, the relationship is just flourishing. And that's what I really think that marriage is about. You might have a weakness somewhere and I'm stronger.
Yeah.
I'm not going to become less.
No.
Because my strength
Yes.
overweighs the weakness. I can
Yes.
become stronger
Yes.
because you're weak in that area.
That's good.
Because we know the word I am is really saying the name of God.
Yes.
And the I am is oneness.
Yes. That's good.
So this is why the Bible tells us to say I am strong
Yes.
when you're feeling weak. So
good.
if I have a weaker part of me, anything around me,
Mhm.
I need to say, I am strong.
That's good.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
Because
really
you have
good.
the I, which is the masculine, and the M, which is the feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring them together
Mm-hmm.
and they balance each other out.
Yes,
And that's why, marriage is so important.
that's good. That's
Wow.
really good. That I
Yeah.
am. That's
Yeah.
powerful stuff there.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, it's some good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm happy that you guys allowed me to tag along again. It
Yeah.
was great.
As always, of course, it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
this was great
for
conversation.
gracing the pod yet again.
Yeah,
Amen.
this is good. Well, God bless you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, we love you. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.